Hello and welcome again, everyone. I'm your host, Ali, CEO and co-founder of Knowde, the leading digital customer experience platform for chemicals and ingredients. Our goal with this series, as you know, is to share the perspectives you need to navigate the changing digital landscape in our industry. We have yet another amazing guest with us today. So let's just get started. I am thrilled to welcome Sanjay Ahuja, Chief Strategy and Transformation Officer at Indorama Ventures. Indorama, as you know, is headquartered in Bangkok. They are a world-class sustainable chemical company with a global integrated lead in PET and fibers, serving many customers across many geographies and many end-use markets. I'm so glad, Sanjay, that you're able to join us today. Welcome. Thank you for spending the time. Maybe before we jump right in and get to some of the questions, share a little bit more about yourself and maybe Indorama.
Sure. Thanks, Ali. Thanks for having me here. I think you captured it well for Indorama Ventures, which I would normally be using as IVL, which is our stock ticker. But yes, it's a global business, but with a local production base. So that makes us a bit of a preferred supplier for our customers. We have 26,000 workforce with 145 operating sites in 35 countries. Although it's a B2B business, but 70% of our revenues come from products which touch daily needs of the consumer. I myself been working with the organization for 25 years, and with most of this being as a CFO, global CFO. And early this year, I took this role of Chief Strategy and Transformation Officer, where digital falls under my lap. And we made some progress with this. I would speak about it. This has been a good journey for us. And yeah, let's take it from there.
Great. And you've seen a lot of change and growth at Indorama over the years. You've been there essentially since the beginning.
That's true. So as I said, I joined this 25 years back when the global turnover was around $200 million, very much at that point of time in Thailand. But very soon we realized, being a growth company, that our needs cannot be fully, growth needs cannot be fully met within the domestic market. So we have geographically diversified, and grown out of acquisitions. And now the turnover last year was around $19 billion. So it's been a magnificent growth. It's been a good journey for most of us who have been there for some time.
Most people can't say that they've seen that sort of growth over that period of time. So I can't even imagine the experiences that you've seen. Okay, let's jump right into the three questions that our audience always cares about the most. When we open up the floor to our viewer base, they literally ask us to ask the same questions over and over again, because they're the ones that they gain the most from. So the first one is this: we're seeing across the board suppliers increase their investments in their digital capabilities, especially related to customer-facing initiatives. What's the biggest opportunity for Indorama Ventures when it comes to digital, specifically related to your customer experience?
Okay, great. But let me give you a background first. That Indorama Ventures, again, IVL, has been engaged in an ambitious transformation program, which we started almost 4 years ago. And the first one, the biggest implementation of a single integrated platform, SAP S/4HANA, across all entities worldwide. This transformation program, which we started 4 years back, amongst other initiatives, also consisted of certain enabling functions, creating certain enabling functions. We have grown out of acquisitions. We've done almost 60 acquisitions in the past 25 years. Our initial focus has always been to extract synergies from procurement leverage and market overlaps in segmentation. We did not touch upon at that time the legacy ERPs and the business processes. So in 2020, we felt that it was time to go for a single source of truth, have S/4HANA as our digital core, set up certain corporate enabling functions, and among them, the corporate enabling functions, was also digital. And the enabling functions actually came so that we could drive the strategies and standardize across IVL rather than, again, each entity running their legacy way of doing it. We are now through this transformation and the digitalization journey, creating enterprise capabilities across all business functions. The main priorities supported by S4 as our digital core is to improve efficiency and reduce costs, but also, as you mentioned, develop customer services to support revenue growth and support innovation. With the S4 journey now coming to an end, the leadership team is in place for digital business systems, which we want to scale up. We are therefore developing our transformation 2.0. So I had the transformation 1.0 from that last 4-year journey, which I mentioned. But in the next journey, which we are trying to create, it's transformation 2.0, which should be implemented from 2024. So where, again, as you said, there will be, you asked about customer focus. And yeah, that will be one of our focus, creating certain tools to enhance this journey.
So you've over the past 4 years transitioned all these various acquisitions. I think you mentioned 25 over to a single business process working out of one ERP instance.
So it's yeah, I mean, this I said 60 over last 25 years, and we are now transitioning. So out of the 4-year ERP journey, we have completed 3 years. There's another year to go, and we have been implementing this ERP journey region-wise. So we've already completed Americas, we have completed Asia, and now we are going to implement early next year for Europe. Then that's where the journey for S4 will get completed.
That's a massive lift, and to be able to accomplish that even just in a few years is incredible. And so now you've got the foundation in place to get to those customer experiences that you're referring to. I'm sure that you're starting to see customer expectations change, which is why you're starting to think about 2.0 and what is now that you've got the foundation in place, what type of experiences you're trying to enable for your customers. Have you started to think about some key initiatives in your digital strategy in order to meet kind of the new needs of customer expectations?
Yeah. So, we, as I mentioned, we operate in a global market and do take advantage of our global footprint, serving the customers in the best possible way. But indeed, these customers' expectations are changing and increasing. The first thing I would say, we need to leverage on our digital technologies to simplify it for them doing business with us and removing the friction points. Secondly, we need to improve service. We need to improve our service together with the products. Our commercial team is actually, they desire to have the best CRM tool to nurture strong customer relationships. But then with the various digital tools being deployed are also helping me to optimize my cost of service to these customers, along with what their needs are, increasing revenue through value pricing models, and reduce inventory and receivables in this era of high interest costs. And also, I would say that the importance of ESG criteria and information for our customers is also pushing us to invest a lot in green technologies, data and information to align our ESG strategy with our customers' own commitment. Let me also tell you that recently I hosted a transformation trek, a digital trek for the top 45 leaders in our company in Seattle, where we held this in Microsoft offices, also met with Amazon and understood their new technologies, but also met with certain startup vendors. And during this period, in my internal sessions, I got a lot of requests from my team that we need to accelerate this overall CRM journey and how we can be more customer centric and work with our customers and in terms of them tracking their products, etc., having pushing for the innovation. So there is now going forward in the transformation 2.0, there is going to be a lot of customer-related, customer-centric digital tools.
Got it. Have you and the team started to prioritize what those tools will be, or is that kind of the next step?
It is next steps, but yeah, right now I think as I think you would know that when you have the S4 implementation, there is always a timeline required to have a better adoption. When you put a CRM tool in place, again, a better adoption and be able to use its full potential. So at this stage, we are trying to see how best we can make use of the tools which we have already put in place. And then the businesses at the same time are putting project charters in place, which would help us determine what kind of additional tools we can bring for them. And yes, we are talking to certain vendors who can help us in this journey.
Right.
This is all in the making, I would say.
Yeah. Your investment is, I'm sure it's been high over the past few years, and it sounds like it's just going to keep accelerating. Which brings us to the last question, I think maybe the most important one, which is that, you know, the economics of the industry has fundamentally changed over the past couple of years. 2023 is not like what it was in 2020 and 2021. There are a lot of market headwinds that exist now. And for some companies, that means that they're pulling back on their initiatives and their investments. And then for other companies, they say, look, this is the best time to invest. And, you know, our industry is cyclical, and we're not going to use that as a reason to not continue down the digital pathway. You know, what advice would you give industry leaders as they're, you know, contemplating kind of that fork in the road in order to balance short-term challenges with, you know, long-term investments?
Yeah, and I think fully agree with you that I mean, we have in our industry, other than the geopolitical tensions, which everybody has felt, then the inflationary factors, again, which brings change in consumer preference. We've also had certain other challenges, market headwinds in terms of additional capacity builds in China, which makes us business a bit challenging. 2021-22 was really great, but 23 has been challenging, and we see that for maybe another year or so. But at the same time, I think that's what I try to impress upon. And as I said, I had taken these leaders in my group for this digital trek. And my point there was that it is all the more reason that I need to look at my costs. How do I compete with the new capacities which are coming, which are integrated? How do I compete with them? I need to look for upon digital technologies which can help me reduce costs, increase my revenue, and make it a more sustainable business model. Technology itself is becoming increasingly, powerful, but at the same time, there is complexity involved and it's costly. But it's a continuous challenge, which we keep curating and prioritizing the right solutions, which can provide both a tangible value for our company and be able to sustain it over time. And with cloud-based solutions and best-of-breed approach, we are, however, able to reduce the effort and time to implement these new solutions, which can help drive adoption and provide great results. So we are able to mitigate current challenges, I would say, manage costs and investments while providing sustainable results for the company. So my guidance would always be that we just can't slow down on here. It is as we tell the business leaders that for the next part of their careers, they would just be transforming their businesses digitally. So they do need to keep investing in this.
Yeah, I think you brought up a really good point that I'm going to emphasize, which is that, you know, this industry has been trained to think about digital investments over very long periods of time with very big checks to a lot of big vendors. And certainly that's how ERP implementations and those sort of things work. But as new startups come into this space, I think we can shift kind of the model in which we make digital investments. It doesn't need to cost $10 million and take 3 years. Just taking a more iterative approach, a fast approach, and sort of implementing new tech faster at a lower cost, I do think is now much, much more possible. And so, it's amazing to hear that you've been able to take that many people as part of your leadership team, to an offsite to, sort of get exposure to the possibilities. There's actually an amazing quote that your group CEO wrote in his investor letter that I just read a few minutes ago, that I just wanted to share, which is amazing. He said, "Our world will not be the same, whether it be how we work, how we relate to our stakeholders, or the kinds of products we make. For us at IVL, change has always been another word for opportunity. And so another theme of my letter this year is how we will take advantage of the disruption." I think that very well sums up, where we also believe this industry is going. And some folks will see it as a threat and will pull back on investment because they don't know where to invest or how to invest, or have the in-house know-how. Or there'll be other leaders that step up and say, look, in moments like these, we have to take risks, we have to think differently and start to implement and learn. And I think the spirit of what he said was very much on point. Sanjay, thank you so much for your time and your insights.
And sorry, before we leave, I think I would also say, and just adding to this point, that yes, I took these 45 leaders, I was able to keep them engaged for 5 days, but they were amazed with the kind of solutions which are available in the market, which again, as you say, these are keep increasing every year, and they keep with the new technologies coming, with the new vendors coming, you will always be able to find some optimized solution for your business priorities. So I'm glad I was able to take them, and I think I'll make it as a regular practice.
I can't agree with you more. I mean, digital transformation doesn't have to be anything that's scary. It is hard. You do need some sort of playbook in advance of. However, it's a charter that everyone must adopt. I mean, there's just no other way around it anymore. Thank you again for all of your insights. Everyone in our audience loves listening to these sort of short, informal conversations with folks like you that are helping shape our industry. So thank you for everything that you're doing. I can't wait to see how your digital agenda around customer experience unfolds. And as you continue to innovate in all things digital, we at Knowde can't wait to see where it goes. So Sanjay, again, thank you so much for the time. Any other concluding thoughts?
No, thank you for having me, Alan. I mean, and I think this is I would really like to sit with other digital leaders which you speak to, and I think it'll be a good discussion, and it's again will be good to now, as we move forward in our journey, to be engaged with others to see how they are progressing and how we can do a little bit more better collaboration in the industry.
Agreed. Thank you so much again, and as we build this community, I'm sure those connections will be made.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay.